Welcome back to the Nice to Work podcast. I'm Nia Senior, my amazing co-host as always, Coach Slaw. It's been a little minute. College basketball is in full swing. WNBA offseason is also completely underway. Unrivaled, we have news. My God, I feel like we have to talk about our beloved Gamecocks no longer being the number one ranked team. First,
I'm
explain.
upset.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start there
I can't say I'm surprised
and tell the people why.
because I feel like for this particular team and the characters that play, last year was a heart check, okay? And their effort, their depth, and their incredible amount of talent and athleticism and length and height, having Camila Cardozo on the block, like, it was about how much effort and focus are you going to put in to win, right? Like, we knew
Yes.
they could win. Now, going undefeated like they did, crazy work.
Nobody saw
Um,
that coming, honey.
right, and excellence across the board, right?
Yes.
But I think this year is not a heart check as much as a head check. Mm. There are things that each player who's stepping into a new role or expected to maintain their leadership role this year had to show up with. And I think the early games against Upward Basketball and, Chattahoochee Technical College and such, no disrespect for those programs. They have their talent, but like usually the difference between a Power Five program and a mid-major, what other small conferences is not that the girls don't know how to play basketball. It's the talent and athleticism. Right, like, it's hard to find players who have all of that, the athleticism, the height, the basketball IQ, and the talent, like, that's a rare find, and that's why the cream rises to the top and gets recruited to some of these larger schools, but when you play somebody who can match that energy, you can't make the same mistakes, and we
Clock.
saw the Gamecocks start every game this season. It's slow,
Yes.
not completely disciplined and focused. I feel like the guard play this year has not been as mission driven and the effort hasn't been there on defense like I'm used to seeing it. I saw a couple players in particular, Raven Johnson, Malaysia Full Wiley, at times making more selfish decisions
Yeah.
than selfless decisions or making the right read, choosing to force things for themselves offensively in moments. I saw some good things too. I think Chloe Kitts has worked on her body tremendously and has been a force. I think that Tahina Pow Pow has worked on her mid range tremendously and has been a force.
Yes.
I think that Tessa Johnson has the amount of clarity and mental toughness to really be a strong leader on the team. I saw glimpses of what their defensive effort could be when they lock in together. I think that they're still trying to figure out offensively who they are, not having that that large post presence that they're used to. They have Joyce, and Joyce is an amazing player. She's
Very
still
good.
getting up to speed. She's a freshman, but she's incredible talent and a freak athlete. I've seen her do things already that I'm like, how did you move there? How
And
did you
she's so
do that?
poised.
And poise. And I think that that's going to take some time. Like, you can't run that slow offensive set in half court and be taking forever to direct people around and getting slow into your offense. I think sometimes things get a little crowded when some of the bigs take drives that go too deep toward the block and there's no real outlet for them to kick the ball out. There's some things you got to work out, right?
Yes.
But UCLA had their number,
Facts.
and UCLA showed up like they want to be number one. They
Exactly.
didn't show up like they were entitled to number one.
No, you can tell. Well, just to back up, for those who don't know, we're talking about University of South Carolina versus UCLA. They played on Sunday, November 24th, and UCLA at that time was ranked number 5. South Carolina was and had been the number 1 team. and got knocked off by UCLA. It was a rough game. I think we lost close to like by 20 points, if not more. We, as in South Carolina. And so I agree. UCLA showed up ready to win because I feel like the preview to that matchup everybody was concerned about was Lauren Betts because,
Mhm.
like you said, this is the first time that South Carolina has been quote unquote undersized in the post. Like we always have a dominant big from Camila Cardoso back to Leah Boston to Asia Wilson. Like that is South Carolina's game. So for the first time, having an undersized post, everybody was talking about how Lauren Betts was going to be the determining factor and likely was why we were going to lose this game. However, that really wasn't the story of the game. Lauren Betts, don't get me wrong, one of the best players in the country, if not the best, is the reason, not the reason, but did her due diligence, did her job in the game. But the
Absolutely.
guards is the reason that we lost. Not just because of South Carolina beating up themselves for all the reasons that you mentioned that we've been seeing since the beginning of the season, but Kiki Wright being back was a major factor. I think that London Jones, she had the best 3-point
Shooting
shoot of
night
the night,
probably for career. Yeah.
literally of her career. Also, you know what I mean? It's just, I feel like everybody on their team was solid. They were playing basketball together and that
Their
didn't always
defensive
work.
chemistry is crazy.
Right. It wasn't just like a Lauren Betts beat South Carolina. It was UCLA literally beat South Carolina. And so
Yeah. They
that was
knew what
really
they had to
important.
do. They had to they all had to show up mentally tough. They all had to show up executing. They all had to show up playing together. And they did.
And they did, yeah.
The first half for South Carolina was super horrendous.
My God. It was really, really sad to see. It just it was a lack of effort. You know, we talk during the games all the time. And so literally the amount of rotation changes that Dawn did was crazy. I've never seen her sub like that. And you could tell that it was just
No,
like
yeah, like it was a lot.
it wasn't a like these people are not skilled. It's just like, who wants to play today? Who wants to win? Like, who wants to
It was locked
pull up?
in.
Yeah.
I think like the very first I think first quarter, and then you have to be careful too, because it's not like everything was bad, but the first quarter to me looked like some shots didn't go in. And some of the characters on this team, in my view, they need to see the ball go through the net for them to feel like, okay, we're here.
Yes.
Turnovers horrendous.
My gosh. Yes.
That I didn't expect.
No, not from UCLA. Like, if you would have said we're playing Notre Dame, okay, I could have seen those turnovers being an issue. But to me, UCLA, they've been playing good defense, but not elite defense to, cause that many turnovers. But
But they
it
stepped
was
it up and they knew the tendency, and some of it was like self-inflicted, like too many dribbles in the paint, going too deep, not moving the ball, getting
throwing
knocked the
really throwing
other,
the ball away. Like, who
throwing
are
the
you
ball, just
crashing?
throwing the ball away, which makes me think again mentally where are we at, like, and it from the leadership down, like from the starting point guard and Raven Johnson has several turnovers. Bad shots are turnovers.
How did
Mm, and that part for me was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Usually, I rely on Raven to be somebody who's way more poised than
yes.
what was shown on Sunday. And, you know, I think Dawn, to your point, was just like pulling people, putting back people, like trying to find a combination. I think she did eventually find one in Tina Pow Pow, Tessa Johnson, Ashlyn Watkins, Sanaya
Mhm.
Reagan, and glimpses from the freshman,
Maddie McDaniel.
Maddie McDaniel. But by then, the hole had been dug. The second half, it was bucket for bucket.
Yep.
Okay, it was much better defense, especially in transition. But you dug a hole for yourself. And there's been a lot of criticism in social media for how that game's personnel rotations were handled. In that you saw in the first half, Malaysia comes in the game, gets a couple of touches, takes some questionable shots, and gets pulled.
Right.
and doesn't return to the game. We've seen in press conferences prior to this, Don talking about how it's kind of like like a struggle to get Malaysia to see the light on some things about how to be disciplined and how to make the right reads. And there were folks who were incredibly upset about that. You know, why is she saving the whole game? She's your most talented offensive player. You're down and you got her on the bench. What are you doing? She's gonna transfer because you're not treating her right.
It's just ridiculous. Like, I know because Malaysia's mom
Mhm.
came on Twitter last night and basically set the record straight. Like, Malaysia's not transferring. Like, everybody calm down. Like, it's literally one bad game. She's still learning, all of the things. But it just shows you how, like, out of control people get. Like, especially when it comes to, like, I don't feel like OG South Carolina fans feel like that, but new fair weather fans are freaking out and calling for her to transfer and all of these different things. But it's like, when you think about South Carolina historically, or if you know, Asia Wilson, who we know is the best player in the world now, didn't start as a freshman. Like, Dawn literally made her sit on the bench and has sat her in multiple games when she's not being disciplined. And so I think that same philosophy stands for Malaysia. Yes, she may be the most talented person on the team, but clearly there's some things, like you just mentioned, that Dawn wants her to hone in on that maybe that we're not privy to. And so her sitting is for a reason. Now, do I necessarily agree with it for her sitting all of that? I think that if I was the coach, not necessarily. I think that you have to allow people to learn on and off the court. And I think that Dawn sometimes is more so of a like, let me pull you, let me sit you, and like let this hurt you kind of coach. Whereas a like, I want you to get out there and make mistakes and learn from the mistakes on the court more so. I just got in the perspective I saw. I feel like people are jumping to freaking conclusions on Twitter is too much, saying that she's gonna transfer after sitting for one game. Like, and plus we saw this happen last season during the UNC game. Malaysia didn't defend up to Dawn's standard. She pulled her statter, came back. Malaysia became a great perimeter defender for the rest of the season,
You know what we really needed yesterday?
besides Camilla Carter's.
Strong perimeter defender on the likes of London Anders, right?
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Fans wanna see their player play,
Yeah.
right? I'm not like, okay, she gonna transfer? I get it. Like, especially in today's
Oh,
basketball culture around NIL, around it really even starts in youth basketball with AAU of like, well, my kid can't start. They're not on this team. We're gonna just switch teams. Some of the best players, great because they allow themselves to be coachable.
okay, period.
Okay, like no shade to anybody on any level who's an elite player, but like, would you rather be an Asia Wilson level of great, having been coached to reach a certain standard
Mhm.
and hold yourself accountable to a certain standard of play to play the game the right way, and have 3 MVP awards, 3 championships, Olympic gold medals?
All the
Or
accolades.
would you rather be like, and this is really no disrespect, no shade, because 'cause they're hoopers, right? But like, Arike,
Yeah,
where is it going?
exactly.
You
Kind
can
of
score 40 points a game. What do you have to show for it?
40 points a game.
I think we're getting to the point where people are very impatient with that, and social media has gotten so crazy with every little reaction that people make to how their player gets treated. It's a player-focused game, the NBA, the MNBA has y'all cooked. Like,
Mm.
you think everybody needs to be treated like everybody you're a fan of is your 1A, and if they're not getting X amount of time and scoring X amount of points, it's just like, oh, either they're scoring a lot and the team loses, and oh yeah, they need some help. Nobody getting them help. They should leave. Or they didn't get to play as many minutes because they're doing disciplined things, and it's like, oh, they should leave because how dare a coach them into doing the right thing. Yeah, the leash is shorter this year because last year she was a freshman. So we think those lessons should be learned.
Exactly.
Right? So yeah, the punishments are harsher. The stakes are higher. You have to lead. You can't hide behind the glaze of freshman and the glaze of I'm hometown kid anymore. Like that's just unfortunate. Like unfortunately that's what it is.
He just
She didn't
over
just bench Malaysia. She benched Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson has
seeing
been one of the best point guards that South Carolina has seen throughout all of the adversity Raven Johnson has gone through
Okay.
in her career, crazy injuries, crazy social media campaign against who she is foundationally, getting her body in the right place, getting her shot in the right place, coming back on a revenge tour, leading a team to a championship. It doesn't matter. You got to play the game the right way.
And I think what sums it up the best is you tweeted it like, this is not last year,
No.
this year. So, like, going undefeated, great. Having all those accolades, great. That was last year. But just like every day is a new day, this is a new season. So, like, that team, what you did last year is not the same, and it's not going to be the same standard. So, like you said, Malaysia is no longer a freshman. She's going to be held to a higher standard, and she needs to rise to the occasion. And that's really just that on that. Same thing with Raven. She's been great. It's going to continue to be great. But when you are the leader of the team and you're a senior, you can't have a night like how she had on Sunday.
You can have it in November. You can't have it in April.
That's it. And that is the reason why we're not panicking. Like, you see the tone of her
Well,
voice is for Murray. You know what I mean? Like, this is November. Let's be
here's
very
the thing. I love the girls. They will respond.
That I know. That I know.
And I like, y'all got real problems. These other fans for these other teams, y'all worried about who's transferring who off of one game. Y'all got real problems. These girls can all hoop. That's not the problem. We trying to get their mind right and clicking and get the ball moving. And those are things that can be adjusted and will be adjusted. And we gonna be all right. If y'all suck, y'all suck. That's just, if your clipboard not clipping, it's not. Like, if your talent's not there, it's not. Like, if your players don't play for each other, they don't. Like, I'm not worried about those things. I'm worried about some adjustments here and some mentalities that we can get refocused. And this is growing pains and it'll be fine. Like, I'm not worried about that. Y'all need to be worried about what's really tea.
Okay. And speaking of what's really tea, we have to go to the other side of LA. That was this weekend. And so, if you guys don't know,
Child.
Notre Dame played Southern California, the other USC. And USC was ranked number 3 going into that matchup because Notre Dame ranked number 6. They got their ass whooped at their own house. It was scary hours. And you mentioned clipboards, and I hear Miss Gottlieb, you might need to turn yours in, Boogie. I am really concerned. Like you said, like we said, I'm not concerned about South Carolina. They will figure it out. They have the talent. And I think that USC has really talented players as well. I just am not sure that they have the X's and O's to match that talent. And that was very evident in this matchup against Notre Dame. Now, mind you, that's not to slight Notre Dame. They have been playing their ass off. The backcourt of Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo is sickening. It's freaking
I'm not
nasty.
getting this excited about a backcourt since Stephen Clay.
It's literally 2 light skins. My God. We
With a
are
ponytail, puff.
a puff. Okay. We thought it was going to be a bun with
Nope.
Juju. It's the
Letting
puff.
it hang.
All right. They said we are El Negros. We are rocking the puff, honey.
Well, Negro is crazy.
You know what I mean? That's what I call the black people taco, El Negro tacos. But that is all we're so, now. For those that are listening to the audio, Coach Slaw has disappeared from my screen because she is left.
Deceased.
Deceased at me because I'm a real serious person.
I know exactly what type of taco you're talking about, too.
Yes, exactly. The ones with the ground beef. It's a hard
Mhm.
shell that it has shredded Mexican cheese, a little bit of lettuce, and if you're really fancy, some salsa and some sour cream.
Absolutely.
If you're really black, a real El Negro, it has what we call taco sauce.
Taco
I'm gonna
sauce.
say real Mexicans and Hispanics and Latinos, they don't know what the hell a taco sauce is.
Mexican, as they say.
We made that shit up, but it's delicious. Yes, okay. Enough on that. So, we are not panicking about the South Carolina, the real USC. Are we panicking about the other USC, Southern Cal, Coach Slaw? Yes or no?
I don't understand this panicking thing. Like, you know what it is? It's because everybody was so, like, hyped to see real hoops. Because,
We've been watching biblical hoops.
yeah,
library hoops, like, you know what I mean, with the kids.
Yeah, and, like, everybody wanna have the take, you know? "Oh, it's a f they are bust, they are fly." Oh, no, no, no. First half, the tweets about Jew don't really got it. "Oh, Jew's freezing up. Oh, Jew this, Jew that," like, praying on her downfall, crazy work. Second
Nasty.
half, she starts cooking and it changes direction. "Yeah, they actually just need you to get some help and da 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 da." The eye test is not the only parameter of basketball.
Hello, wake it up.
Gottlieb is interesting. I don't know sometimes if it's that she doesn't make adjustments or adjusts too much. Because after I saw what I saw at the beginning of the game, I was like, why aren't they passing it to Kiki Iriafen? Now, Kiki didn't have a great game,
That's an understatement. That
but
coach was a
when
terrible
your
game for
coach
her.
isn't setting it up to make your game the focus and setting you up for success, that's not helpful. But then I saw a couple of instances where she drew it up and then she was like, get the ball down low. And Kiki had some moves she could do. Even if she didn't make the first attempt, she got to the free throw line. Like, why isn't there more of that?
I don't know if she went away from it
Or if
because
the
people.
player did. I
That's what I'm like, yeah, it's really hard to tell. And so I feel like that is an issue, though. I feel like a good coach commands the team and they respect the coach's decisions enough. You know, sometimes it's like, fuck that. We about to do whatever we want to do. But for the most part, it's like, okay, this is what coach said and what the coach says goes. When it comes to Southern Cal, I can never really tell if they respect what Lindsay is saying or if they're like, I don't know about that and let's kind of do our own thing.
or really, it's like Juju is so ball dominant and everybody just knows that the game is gonna flow through Juju. If the game like was going to work through Kiki, it would open shit up for Juju.
And I feel like we saw a small glimpse of that because when Juju was distributing in the first half, she had like 5 assists, like off the
Yeah.
bat. She was distributing left and right. And so then she finally got an open look. So I'm like, I think that that idea is there. I just don't know if it has completely materialized for everybody to be like, okay, we can do this all the time.
And not having Kennedy throw the ball too did and spread the floor definitely made an impact.
Very much so. And we're talking about Kennedy-Smith, if you guys don't know. Freshman coming to Southern Cal, super good. She really is. But she might be 6'1". She's pretty tall to be a guard, like, you know, good length, great defender. So missing her was big. But having Heckle come in, wow, I was not familiar with her game. Another freshman, top ranked. I think she was like number 10 in their class that played for Southern Cal. And she did her big one, obviously, to have not originally been a starter, but to come in and just play how she did, especially against a Notre Dame backcourt like that. And that girl is quick, super
Mhm.
fast. She was one into the court to the other. So
Mhm.
I'd say, you said panic? No.
No, and I think Notre Dame is way better than most people expected them to be this year because people forgot about Olivia Miles
They did. I mean, she
and
didn't
all of
play
them.
college basketball for, what was it, like 600 days or something crazy,
Yeah.
which is a long act.
Yeah, and that's a big oversight. And Hannah Hidalgo doesn't play defense. She plays offense all the time. Hannah Hidalgo's style of defense is I'm getting the damn ball back
Like, it's mine. Like, give it to me.
and stealing the ball. What are we here for? Why don't I have the ball?
I'm
I'm
sorry,
tapping it
Glenn.
out. I'm stealing the ball. What the fuck am I doing without the ball?
I literally made me think about what you said when we were watching the game yesterday. Hannah plays basketball. Her whole manner is everything like a little boy that throws tantrums. Like, literally from like like how she celebrates to give me the ball, like trying to like, you know, always swiping at it. Like, every shit is so
You
funny,
can
but it's
tell
so
she has
accurate.
4 brothers. You can tell.
Yeah, and I love it.
I'm here for it. It's very entertaining. Now, these people talking about the MAGA fuel that she had and like that's great. Talking about the MAGA gives her power. That's a lot.
That's it's a bit too
It's
much.
a bit too much. Not too much. You know,
We have to draw the line at homophobic chicken. If we're gonna eat Chick-fil-A, okay, that's one thing, but MAGA fuel, cutting.
it's wild.
Yeah.
And Olivia Miles is a pro.
And that's the statement,
She
period.
was just having fun at the end of that game. Cooking these children.
Lighting
I'm
bitches.
just like doing a little dance. I was disrespectful at this point.
What was it? I think it was like 47% or something like that from three. The girl don't even normally shoot threes. What are you talking about?
Decided today's the day. I'm gonna cook y'all.
And just lit their ass up.
And air conditioning is nuts. It's a different level.
Oh, it's insane. They don't ever look tired.
No.
Also, shout out to Sonia Citron.
What?
Baby, you did a hell of a defensive job on
You studied that film, girl.
Okay? Mind you, they were sending the trap. They were sending the help. At every time you got the ball.
You have to. I don't care about that.
But Sonia,
Did
you was doing your thing, girl. Finger claps to you.
Wild work.
So, Notre Dame, I'm really excited, but I'm glad you mentioned Olivia Miles. I feel like her draft stock has risen significantly.
Correct.
And so that kind of takes us to our next topic, WNBA offseason. So the lottery happened. And so if you guys don't know, the lottery is where the bottom four teams determine in what order they will receive 1 through 4 picks in the next upcoming WNBA draft. And so they have all these numbers and percentages based on your record and all that stuff that go into it. But long story short, it's a 30-minute segment where they pull balls out the thing and they tell you. So the order is the number 1 draft pick is going to the Dallas Wings, which a lot of people didn't see coming because we thought that LA would get it with their percentage. But LA has the 2nd pick, Chicago Sky has the 3rd pick, and the Washington Mystics have the 4th pick. And so based on what we've seen so far from standout, where are we thinking people are going? I think Paige Beckers is a lock at number 1. Doesn't matter. Didn't matter who got the pick. But now that we've seen Olivia Miles and how she's playing, I feel like she's a solid contender for a number 2 potential. I do. I think LA, they need a point guard. Chicago also needs a point guard, but I think that a lot of people have speculated and a lot of the boards say that Kiki Area Finn is going to be the number 2 pick. But to me, that doesn't make sense for her to go to LA. It doesn't. You already have Cameron Brink. You already have De'Erica Hamby. You already have Rakia Jackson. You have all of these bigs. Ray Stevens. Why do you need Kiki? You need a point guard.
Greedy. You want to trade. Yeah, they do need a point guard. I see that. I could see that being an option.
There's a shortage of point guards across the league. So
It's
anybody
still early, you know.
It's still very early. It's still November, almost December, but
it's still early.
Yeah. So,
and people really like to get a big if they can get a big. You know, there's always guards around.
There's always guards, but there's not always good.
There might be a more seasoned point guard that they can shuffle around for.
True.
In the ether. Because, you know, all the teams are going to be different next year. This shit looks great.
So that moves into the next thing, which is the WNBA expansion draft. Today, on which we're recording this, is Monday, November 25th. So that means today's the deadline for which teams have to submit their 6 protected players for the expansion draft.
Lock it in.
So if you're not familiar, each team of the current 12 in the W have to submit a list of 6 players that the Valkyries cannot touch. Everybody else is going to be up for grabs in the expansion draft that is happening on December 6th. Now, Kathy is such a whore that she's making it to where we cannot see where or who is the 6 protected players. Boo. However, we're going to hope for some leaks. There has already been a leak, technically, with Indiana Fever, and so we kind of know who their 6 protected players are as of late this afternoon on Twitter. So, y'all, cross your fingers, cross your toes, pray to your God, my God, whoever, that we get some leaks, because I need to know the tea before December 6th.
I want to know what the late aces are going to do, because they, like that 6th position, Tiffany Hayes did her big one.
I feel like they should protect Tiffany Hayes.
What was I going to say? Alicia Clark has done an amazing job as to that team's defensive play and sets the tone and all those things, but it's like at the twilight of her career.
Yes, I love how you use has as in let her go.
Maybe, I don't know. Sid Colson, you get what you get with Sid.
Beautiful gowns.
Loves it.
Beautiful gowns.
He can give you a spark off the bench for sure, but the consistency, and then you got, like, you could think about the future. You could say, "You know what, Kate Martin,
Let's save you. Elizabeth Kitley.
come on over here, sit down." Hey.
Very interesting.
Well, it's interesting.
It's another team too. New York. I feel like Niara Sabali in that final game, she might have secured
Mhm.
her protected position.
Kinda got a bag.
So I don't know who they're sick. JJ Fibich,
Yeah, you have to. If you don't, I don't know what you don't I don't know what you're doing.
Banaja.
I would do that.
And so then it's that last one. I think that it goes to Niara, but what about Flutie? What about Kayla Thornton?
I don't think you need to do I respect Salute, okay?
Yeah.
But again, the knees only do what the knees wanna do. Now, protecting Salute for her to come off the bench,
I mean,
I
everybody
don't
has to. I
see
mean,
that.
it's 6 spots, so somebody's coming off the bench.
No, but her particularly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She better come off the bench, though. When her legs are frayed, she can knock down a jumper. She
Yeah.
just leaves the court, and what the fuck is going on comes in and does a little something, like, because she has that level of mastery.
The last team that is interesting to see who they're going to save is the Seattle Storm for many reasons that we have yet to talk about on the pod, but have talked about extensively in the group chat. Extensively. It's literally every single day. We
Somebody, like, you gonna write a dissertation.
honestly, truly, if you haven't seen already, there's some videos that we've done on our TikTok about what's going on in
Because what's
Seattle.
going on to
So let's break it down to start from the beginning to let you guys know why who we think may get protected or not protected is interesting. So Seattle Storm, as you guys know, they made a lot of moves this past offseason to acquire Nneka Ogwumike and Skylar Diggins-Smith to add and make their core four. Those two, Jewel Lloyd and Ezzy McGregor. They were playing well at first, and they had a little bit of a slump after the Olympics and came back strong, made it to playoffs and lost in the playoffs to the Aces. But those games were very close. They could have easily won some of those playoff games. But the real issue is that we saw the star, Jewel Lloyd, not necessarily perform like herself. She didn't play in the championship game of the Olympics. And then post Olympics with the Seattle Storm, she just wasn't hitting, I'll use her word, her benchmarks like she normally would in terms of scoring and other things. And so that caused us to question whether she was hurt or something else was going on. But we've now found out that there is an investigation into the coaching staff and front office of the Seattle Storm for hostile work environment, basically, because of player outbursts and some other things. So the issue that I have with this is that the investigation is against the coaching staff and the front office. But all the articles that we have seen and read that have been published all are talking about player actions. So we do not actually know at this time what the coaches did and did not do. All we know is what allegedly the players have said and done, plus all that has happened after. So it's alleged that Skylar Diggins-Smith, as we know, who has a fiery personality, allegedly had some outbursts that happened to her teammates or while, during practices or a team event. Also, that Nneka Ogwumike was left out of player meetings, which is really, really weird, but she is the Players Association president for the whole WNBA and best friends with Skylar Diggins-Smith. So it's weird, but they felt like, according to the articles, that Nneka will be partial to the coaching staff. And so those are the main allegations. But other thing is that Jewel Lloyd's mother, Gwendolyn, has been very active on Twitter. She has Twitter fingers and Facebook fingers. She is commenting on their posts, insinuating things about Coach Noelle Quinn, about Jewel's dissatisfaction with the Storm, just overall displeasure with the organization and the way that her child's being treated. And so that has caused Skylar Diggins-Smith to throw subliminals on Instagram. On her story, she has made some quotes. She has been in the comments of Tina Thompson. Tina Thompson then made some more statements, which Jewel's mom responded to. It's a whole mess. Please go look into it on Twitter, find the tweets, Wendell and Lloyd, if you want to go see the exact screenshots of it, and go to SDS's page as well. They don't no longer follow Jewel, her, or NECA. So, with all of that being said, this is a hot ass mess. That's basically
Yeah.
what they built this team
Yeah.
to be a championship contender to beat the fucking Aces. And now it's a breakdown in player relations and potentially coaches. So this offseason, we have no idea what's going to happen. Does this team stay together? Do they choose to protect people? Do they bring people back? Does it make sense to? Is it dangerous to do so? Coach Slaw, any thoughts, comments, concerns about what is brewing in Seattle?
I don't have the cap space chart in front of me, but I know they don't have much. They probably got like 700,000, something like that. And wasn't there an article before about Gabby Williams talking about whoever she signs with, she doesn't want to be cored because she
Yes. She doesn't take a free agent. She wants to be able to pursue free agency freely.
But given the status of like the discontent that appears to be in the locker room,
That's a good word.
let's say they're desperate and they're like, look, sorry, Gabby, you're cored. Here's the Supermax. Now, that might put them, like, this is just in my fever dream, that might put them in a wild position financially, but somebody
Yes.
might want to get.
I feel like their books might be a little light too because NECA only signed a 1-year deal. So
Okay, she's a free agent, right?
she's a free agent.
They have to.
And she can't be cored.
She can't court. They can't. She can't be cored, but like they have to offer her at least. You're stupid if you don't.
Very dumb.
That's
Very
how
dumb.
I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Skylar's very much been the type of person who doesn't like to be where she's not wanted. So I could see Skylar saying, "Oh, if it's too damn much, I'll go. I'll go." You know, I could see it happening, but they need Skylar. And I feel like if NECA stays, if NECA wants to stay, one of those conditions might be like, but y'all keeping Skylar, right? And then, because that's my girl. And then we have a whole another thing going. Right.
Oh, that could be really, really messy. But my thing, I want to say one thing on Skylar. As much as, okay, I have a lot of fire sign friends, so I know what it means to be a woman and to be a feisty woman, a woman that's assertive, that knows what they want. And so I understand that can be misconstrued and that people sometimes try to treat you badly because of this reputation that you may have as a woman who is stern, confident, and outspoken.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Skylar has had issues with every organization that she has ever played for.
Yeah,
So
systemic ones.
systemic ones. And so my only concern for her leaving is that other teams may not want to deal with what comes with Skylar, allegedly, even though she's excellent on the court, especially in the direction that the W is moving. Look at the coaches, they're now way more male, they're way more white, we have way more eyes. They are going to want someone who is amenable and potentially has a different demeanor than Skylar does. And so that's my only concern with her saying, if you guys don't want me here, I'll leave. Okay.
I think,
That,
yeah, again, this is just me, cooped out fever dream because I really didn't prepare for this. So, what if we said, Skylar Diggins-Smith, you are a Los Angeles Spark, and
okay, I'm following you, sort of.
the you
They do need a point guard, but
coach, yeah. So you can't even say
they do have a coach.
who's the coach.
Hell, they didn't hire that lady from Utah to make them shoot threes. Free were kids.
That's fine. That work. She'll imagine. So she goes over there. Then Nick is like, damn, I wonder if I can get my job back.
Hey. Okay. I think LA would definitely take Nneka back. Does Nneka want to go back to LA though? The whole reason she left, because she's like, I'm old, baby. I want facilities. I want nice things.
The thing is, Nick is gonna be all right no matter where she's at. But I think we're kind of at the spot where I think Nneka knows she needs more of a Skylar type player to get to that level she got to this season,
Okay.
more than she needs a Jewel.
Now, in my fever dream, Jewel Lloyd leaves Seattle. She,
That's a big contract.
it's a big contract.
That's a big fat contract. Clutch did their big one.
They did. However, there are a few teams that can hold that contract that need a shooter.
Correct.
Now, this is insane to say. Like I said, fever dream. I would love for Jewel Lloyd to come to Connecticut. I know it's insane. It's insane. But hear me out.
I'm gonna hear you out, but then I just have one thing. If she can't get, I don't know, this is all allegedly, but if she can't get along with them two, how's she gonna handle Bonner and
I don't think they're gonna be there.
Oh,
She also means I probably won't be a Connecticut fan anymore. But anyway,
poor buddy.
I
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
you see where I'm going. You see where I'm going.
I see exactly this. This is a wonderful chart. Okay, go ahead.
You see exactly where I'm going. So okay,
The stars. I see the constellations here.
you see it. So we now have a point guard in Ty Harris. Very chill girly. She can shoot. Get it on her own.
She's almost like she's foundationally solid and getting more minutes and is coachable. Where's she?
Oh, the University of South Carolina.
Oh, okay. She got coached by who?
The Dog State.
All right.
Waking up. Okay, but this is it. This is what I see. I see Jewel Lloyd in Connecticut with Dejanay Carrington, Marina Mabry, Ty Harris at the point. Bree Jones is still there. Oh no, comes in as a 6-man. And I feel like they can make it work. It's a young team. Jewel is the veteran that's on this team.
Wait, who's the big?
Brianna Jones, Breezy.
She kind of breezy can hoop, but she kind of slow for that group, ain't she?
That's why we have Oh no for at times when we got to pick up the pace.
Okay.
But Breezy is so solid.
Is Mabry gonna fuck with that though? Because Mabry is the Jewel in this situation at
I'm aware
right now.
But
how do you balance those touches?
I think we need them. I just think we need both of them.
But do you think they work well together?
They're both Notre Dame guards.
Well, we've tried that.
I'm just saying, I think we can figure it out. Now, Marina is a spicy girl, but she's not as.
That's unlike it. This seems very much like very similar energy.
Now, if we want to go completely different, I said we send Jewel to Chicago. Send her back home. She can go work at her Smoothie King full time in the off season. Lord. And yeah. Camilla, Angel, Jewel, Kennedy. Yeah. I don't know who else, but no. Maybe Olivia Miles, Lord. Now that's the squad. You picturing it? You seeing it? I'm seeing it. With Tyler?
Missing.
What's missing? I'm not seeing that. All the pieces are there to me.
So Angel, Camilla, Jewel,
Kennedy.
And Kennedy. See, this is the thing.
And Olivia.
Jewel's main character energy.
Is she though? I think that's the issue.
Yeah. Why are we acting like one season at 19.2 when you got the fucking coach clipboarding up a scheme that got you doing all these other shots and off your gimpy knee? Why are we acting like that is Jewel Lloyd? That was the outlier season. Come on.
I agree. It's an outlier season. But I think that Jewel wants to be the star on the court, but she doesn't want to be the leader and the face of a franchise. And I think that that's okay.
I don't think that's true at all.
Ru I definitely think that. I think that Jewel wants to be the best person on the court, but that doesn't mean she wants to be the face of the franchise.
The
That's
way
what I get from
Jewel
Jewel's
moves
personality.
around, the way Jewel moves around, I don't think that's true. The way she's doing all these commercials, the way she's building all these businesses, starting pickleball like leagues, got her mama and everybody comments. I don't think that's true.
I think that
I think this shit didn't work out the way she thought it was gonna work out because you got two very strong personalities
mhm,
that you are happy to work with. That looks great on paper, but you don't know how personalities are gonna mesh until they get in the same room. You just don't know that. And I think Jewel was being successful as a leader, by her damn self, mind you. And I think when that whole balance of power changed by people who are very assertive about what they want, very assertive about who they are in this league, I think that's a personalities thing, but I don't think that's a knock on Jewel. I think that's a style conflict. Like people have different styles of how they want to lead. Like,
I totally agree. I think that there's so many styles of leadership, and different ones are effective, but all great leaders can learn to adapt to who they are leading. But my whole point of saying
but
what
I
I
don't
think
think Jewel is the one with the energy problem. I think those two,
mhm,
I've told you this before, they come from a different.
time.
I mean, there was a different understanding of what's appropriate,
Totally.
right?
Yeah.
And I think, like, to me, what this sounds like is, the aunties got lit a little too much. And we know Noelle's not that personality. And I think that's why it worked well with Jewel and Noelle because, like, it matches energy. I think that's what, like, you see where coaches match with their star player energy, usually it goes well. But when you have new energy in the room, being like, "Nah, it's like this."
I totally agree. I think that in the terms of those two having a more archaic mindset or way of doing things in leadership style, I agree with you on that. And I think that Jewel and Noel's style leadership is similar, but I feel like not only did they need more help surrounding Jewel when they brought them in, they needed a different type of leadership a little bit because what Jewel was providing was ineffective. When we look at not this past season, but the season before, I literally saw a game in person where they literally didn't even give a fuck. Like, they just didn't try. Like, only person trying is Jewel. And so, as a leader, you right one day.
I want Joel to do because what was she playing with? Before they got there, who was she playing with?
I understand she needs help as in terms of talent as well.
She lead by example.
But sometimes that's not enough. And so that's why I am not mad at
You
them.
can't tell a scrub how to get better.
You can. But
Not
it
in
was
no time. There's
but not trying to get it wasn't even trying to get better. The thing that I'm talking about is effort. Like literally they didn't even give a fuck enough
I'm
to want
sorry.
to play the
When
game.
you playing damn 38 minutes, putting up 30 every fucking game, and somebody come at you and say, damn, your effort for out here dying.
I'm not talking about Jewel's effort. I'm talking about everybody else's effort when Jewel was the sole leader.
And that's why I think like we're looking at this wrong. Like they're stars. I get it. They're great at what they do. I get it. I think a lot of that effort shit and a lot of that running with your head down shit was because they didn't like them bitches either. I think their leadership style is the problem. Otherwise, why are we here?
I personally feel like both leadership styles are the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like both are ineffective to get what is needed out of these teams. I feel like Jewel and Noel, when it was just them, was simply too passive and wasn't enough. Leading by example was not motivating enough, even if they were scrubbed, to incite any type of effort or want to be better. And I feel like NECA and Skylar flew over.
Them girls was trying the best they could.
They was.
Yes, they were. I'm trying to tell you, this league is different. The talent is different. They're 1 year, 2 years into the league scrubs. They gotta get better. You only do so much. I can talk you to death, but if you can't shoot, you can't shoot. If you can't handle rock, you can't handle your rock. I can only talk you up so much. I can only inspire you so much.
I understand it and I hear you. You can only inspire so much, and talent at some point has to rise. But I personally feel like both leadership styles are ineffective. That's my opinion from the outside looking in. And I don't
Yeah.
think
So I think I don't know, but I think it's the wrong combination. I just think they're the wrong personality combinations. That's it. They can be effective. You can have a team that turn up in that ass. It is effective. You can have a team that's like chill, mellow, like the Lynx and like Nafisa does not turn up in that ass. And
no.
that shit is moving behind and it's just fine and dandy over there and they do their little sets and
And that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like both leadership styles are ineffective for this team and the roster that they have. So honestly, in my opinion, everybody must go.
you know, just blow it up.
Let's knock it down to the studs, actually.
Blow it up. Noelle gotta go too.
Everyone. Just start from scratch. Yeah, so Nika, you are a Las Vegas ace. What?
That's crazy.
We would love to have you.
What? Her and Asia play the same position.
We need backup. Asia's tired.
You ain't Nick ain't coming off no bench, child. That's crazy.
Why not?
Oh no, that's not happening.
Why not? She is closer to being
That's
in the
not
front
happening.
office. She is on
If
the
Nick was more like a De'Erica, I could see that working. But they literally play like the same position.
exactly.
You just greedy. You just greedy.
I am.
You just
I
greedy.
am.
Is KP getting Wade? I'm sorry.
That's petty.
No, I can say. That's just petty. That's just I don't want KP to get waived. I want KP to heal in the offs. Heal them demons that she was talking to on the sideline.
Heal
That
your
was a
heart,
lot.
sister. We all know about it. Just you know what I mean?
Heal
Eat you
some.
some, eat you some ice. Well, actually, don't eat you some ice cream because you're playing it unrivaled, sister. And that
Oh,
takes
yeah.
us to we have to talk about this. Unrivaled, they had their draft, and I say that loosely with air quotes because I was bamboozled, led astray. I thought this was going to be a live event.
Let us pray.
It was simply a 20-minute uploaded YouTube video, which I could watch at any time. I don't know, maybe they meant to
You waited on it.
you had they meant to premiere it on YouTube and just didn't know how, which is crazy because
You was waiting on the video, like the countdown, like
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, okay, like,
like
this about to be interactive or something like that." No, baby.
yeah.
Unfortunately, y'all finna drop this whole months ago. Anyway, we now know who is playing for what basketball clubs, because that's how Unrivaled has named their team, their clubs, just like how the soccer girlies do it, and who is coaching what based out of who the teams are. Who do we feel like is gonna be the most dominant in Unrivaled? So it's there, just so you guys know, it's Vinyl if a club.
These
The
names
name
suck.
I hate the names.
Trent.
Phantom, Laces.
That's the only one that makes sense.
Lace is literally the only one that makes sense. I like it. Mist.
This is correct.
Child. I like him.
Rose.
Rose. I said, where the fuck did y'all get that name from? And Lunar Owls.
That mess sounds like a mathletes team or a quiz bowl team. What are y'all?
Literally. And so I'm not gonna go through every single team and list everybody on the teams. Y'all can look it up. Go to the website, arrival.com, Lord. Subscribe to the newsletter. But Coach Slaw, what basketball club are you rocking with the most? Or pick two. Because, you know what I mean? It's so hard to pick one because with Unrivaled being so stacked, with it being like top talent, I feel like it was hard to pick a team. I was like, yeah, I want to root for more than one basketball club.
I rock with Rose.
Okay. So we will say Rose is featuring
Point
Angel
guard.
Reese, Point Guard,
Kalia Copper.
Kalia Copper, Azare Stevens,
Correct. Lexi Hull.
Lixie Hall.
It's just the most balanced team in my opinion, Slim. It's the most it's the most balanced team in my opinion.
Okay. I like that. I think Rose is gonna be cute. I personally am rocking with the Phantom. Uh,
I knew you would.
you already know.
I already knew you.
I just felt like they're gonna eat, and I feel like the people are sleeping on them. I love me.
I don't know BG's in the conditioning for Phantom.
Someone was saying that she's hurt.
Oh.
And I'm like, bitch. Well, are you gonna be better by January 17th?
Probably.
Let us pray.
Probably. They
Um,
get a wild card pick, don't they? I think they only got 5 people.
we do get a wild card. So, who is on the Phantom? Jackie Young, shout out Big Jack. Tiffany Hayes, love her now. It is Satu Sabali, her, and I forget BG and Marina Mabry. And so wild card. If y'all don't know, Athletes Unlimited has now upped their spots from 30 to 36 players. However, they don't have all 36 spots.
You mean Unrivaled.
Oh, Unrivaled.
You
Sorry.
mean yeah.
Unrivaled
No,
does not have all 36 spots full.
don't start beef with the girlies, child.
Sorry. I don't want no smoke. Which I thought was crazy because I was looking like, okay, prior to the draft, I said, how are we going to have a draft? We don't know all the players. Well, it's because they don't know all the players, honey. So if you're looking for a job, employment, Unrivaled is hiring. If you can put the ball at the hoop, Lloyd. But the weird thing they said in the draft that it's on the teams that were assigned a wild card to find someone to fill that spot. And so to me, I said, now, baby, how am I supposed to do
It's
your
getting
job?
it's getting a little ghetto. The website eats, but it's giving a little ghetto. But we gonna get it together. It's the first year. It's gonna be good hoops. The 3-on-3 model is a great model, I think. I think it gives a lower barrier to entry for players to have ownership stake in teams, which I love. Get your coins.
Okay.
Okay. Get some better names though. Branding is important.
Branding is important. And they've done a decent job so far, but that draft was
The
a hit.
league has done a decent job. These team names.
No.
I know it's hard to with market share competitiveness and stuff like that. Like I was surprised Laces got away with what they got away with because there's always already an Aces. It sounds a little, but I get that. But like Lunar Owls, we have to think about this a little harder.
You know what I mean? Like Lunar Owls is great.
It's a little crazy.
We could have named it like the Jewels or like, diamonds or like like anything. What's
Anything.
unrivaled, like rivals? You could think, I think about like superheroes. You could think about anything like Superman versus Batman or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Now you have to probably pay for some licensing for that, which is probably why they
okay,
didn't do that. But
chat,
this gives I
chat,
put it in Chat GPT.
yeah, that's
That's
exactly
what
what this gives.
that's what this is giving. But I'm here for the girlies too, who the 3-on-3 model is something I'm very interested in. You will get to see people pull some things out of their bag they usually don't get to do in their role player roles. Kate Martin is on the list. She's on KP's team, I think.
Yes, like with AT, Courtney Williams, they may have a wild card.
They might like, yeah, I'm like excited. I think it's gonna be fun. I want to see some shit talking.
I'm ready, and I'm
Longer
really
than you.
super excited for the 1v tournament, 1v1 tournament that they're gonna have.
That's gonna be
Even
exciting. That's gonna be lit.
gonna be super
Um,
excited. I can't wait to hear more of like how that's gonna work.
who do you think is gonna win that?
I feel like Enrique could get it or Kalia,
I do too.
and I feel like Alicia Gray is a sleeper pick too to win very much. But I don't know. My mom, shout out to my mom, she was saying that she feels like a big is gonna win it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're BG, you can just back somebody down. Like if once you get possession of the ball, just don't have. If you have a long rebound, you better get that ball back from BG.
Okay.
All right, but that would be boring. That would be a boring.
I hope it's exciting. I don't know how they're gonna incorporate it because they already have.
Maybe the 1v1 tournament is gonna be a weight class thing or something, so that it avoids some of that. Cause like, why? I don't want to see KP playing as BG.
No,
That shit makes sense.
right? That's not entertaining. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do or how they're gonna do that, but I'm excited to see. If you don't already know, they're gonna be having 3 games a week. They're gonna be playing on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays, which is a lot of games, honestly, because they have 2 games a day on that. So it's like a 6 o'clock game in a 7-15 game. So it's very interesting. Be on the lookout for our socials. We will have sneakers on the ground. Got my tickets. I will be going to the Yams. Let me see the girlies.
We got to get flowers out.
Absolutely. How could I forget our bouquets, a beautiful arrangement to put on your Thanksgiving table. Um,
I love that visual.
yeah, I mean, something to have with the ambiance of your meal.
Water brand deal.
Period. Stay hydrated. This is smart. But Coach Slaw, we are going to be giving flowers out this week to a freshman in college women's basketball.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
What for? They ain't do nothing yet. I'm just
I feel like there are some standout freshmen that need to be highlighted. They're not getting talked about enough. If you would like to, well, actually, not if you would like to. Which freshman in college women's basketball would you like to give flowers to? Now, mind you, they're gonna be in front of their mama, their grandma, auntie, and them on the Thanksgiving table. So make it good.
I'm gonna give it to University of South Carolina guard Maddie McDaniel. Not gaudy numbers,
No.
but I liked what I saw from her in these last couple games. Stepping up, filling shoes, defensively moves her feet like a masterclass, makes the right read, doesn't try to do too much. Like on a team that talented, already finding your way into the rotation as a guard when it's such a guard heavy team as well. So I'm excited to see her development throughout the season.
Yes.
Just really solid, and I'm impressed. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm giving it to. You know, all these people who are like, "Oh, I'm a 5-star recruit." I don't give a shit about that. Like, can you do the fundamental things?
Exactly. Can you impact the game? I love that bouquet. Maddie McDaniel, Mouse, aka Mouse.
AKA Mouse.
Enjoy that bouquet. Now, for me, my arrangement's gonna include some sunflowers, or roses. You know what I mean? Get into the fall. And it's going to Vam Jones, who plays for I love me a good flashy guard every now and then. But the reason I'm giving her flowers is because she's so fearless. In that game, even against when they played us in South Carolina, she was cold from the floor. Like she was shooting, and not hitting. But she kept shooting. And I feel like a lot of great shooters have said is that like the best way to get out of a shooting slump is to keep shooting. And so as a freshman, to have the confidence and knowledge to know that like, hey, yes, my shot is not falling, but if they're gonna keep giving me the ball and leaving me open to keep shooting, it's the only way that I'm going to get out of this. And so, yeah, I'm just a fan of her. I have watched her in Queens of the Court on some of the overtime stuff when she was in high school. So I'm familiar with her game, but I feel like she's coming in and really doing her big one, especially among the heavy guard play of NC State with Isaiah James, Sanaya Rivers, and really holding her own as a freshman. So, boom, there's my bouquet for you, Sam.
I love that.
Thank you. Now, before we get out of here, y'all, we gave y'all some recommendations on TV shows to watch last episode. But this episode, it is holiday season. Just like we said, this is the week following. We're going into Thanksgiving. So now we're going to give the people a recommendation of a song that they have to play while they're cooking during these holidays. Whether you're at home by yourself, making a meal to just have with you, cooking for the family, cooking for friends, chosen family. Coach Slaw, what is one song that you got to hear while you're in the kitchen whipping it up? Like, what's something that the people need to hear? New, old, whatever.
There's so many.
I know.
I feel like an inevitable one is going to be this Christmas Donny Hathaway version because it's the classics. It's the real R&B singers, you know.
Wake it up.
Much respect to Chris Brown. Like, he sang his ass off in that cover.
And I love it.
But yeah, like, you know, when you got a multi-generational household, people whipping it up, you know, bonnets on, people on Game Boys, and that's not even a thing no more. People on iPads. You need to be like, y'all don't know nothing about this. And I'm auntie age now. So
we are.
I'm getting Chris Brown sing that song. He don't sing that song. Y'all don't know nothing about this. That's why I'm gonna be on. So
I love that. Donny Hathaway, you gave us a classic. Now, in true Gen Z fashion, are going to give the people something a little new, something, to add that they might not have known. So, Leon Thomas, I've been playing his little album out. Let's just hear out the single Mutt, which I love.
very good.
However, the whole album is very much pressure,
Very good.
very, very good. And so, I think an excellent song that they should have is I really like the song Ceilings on Silence featuring Wale. Family friendly, very much R&B vibe, but it's new school. Add it to your playlists for the
I love that.
holidays.
I love that. It's a very good album. Leon Thomas is a very talented songwriter for real.
Okay, he's taking it.
And a very talented real musician. And not just on computer programs, can play real instruments
Okay,
and is a vocal. Like just, a gem,
a talented.
a rarity. And we need to put some respect on him. That's rare nowadays.
Very. He's keeping R&B alive, especially for the
Mhm.
males. So
And also expanding it and what it can be
that,
in time. So
yes, this was a very unique album. I would say it's not very traditional R&B, but delicious. I love it. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Nasty Word Podcast. Make sure you guys are tuned in to all of the hoops tournaments that are going on this Thanksgiving. I know it's really hard to watch. They kill us with the access when you're having down flow hoops and all these different
that
apps.
shit get on my nerves.
But if you can, tune in to some of this amazing hoops this holiday season. Enjoy the time with your family, friends, yourself, or just time off of work. And we will see you in the next episode. I'm Nia Senior, my amazing co host, as always, Coach Slaw. Toodles.
Peace.